Good evening, everyone, to another video. Tonight, I'll be doing basically deck list of the Ezel deck that was entrusted to me a few weeks ago. This is owned by a friend of mine that flew out to France. I think he already came back, so I decided before I return the deck, I might as well show the list to the channel because at least there's one. I think there's one uploaded Cardfight video featuring this deck. So let's start with the grade 3. Let's go with the very first Ezel VR. First one here is Blond Ezel. You can superiorize it if you have Bumains, or is it Bumains? I think it's Bumains and Garret, but I don't run it in this list. Garret. Its Vanguard skill is basically when it attacks, you may call a card from your hand to rear circle. Next, second, grade 3 Ezel that was released in the series is Raven-haired. Raven-haired here can be superior rogue, right? You can superior this card if you have the Blond Ezel in your Vanguard circle by paying the cost of counter +1 while it's in your hand. Superior a stand. It has a Vanguard skill of paying the cost of counter +1 if you have the Blond Ezel in your soul when it attacks while it's in the Vanguard circle. It gets 15,000 in critical +1, and your opponent cannot call sentinels from his or her hand. So grade 1, grade 0 sentinels, nothing can be called. I think even the crit sentinels can't be called. Are those sentinels? I'm not quite sure. They're 30k shields. Next, Platinizer. Platinizer here allows you to change this first drive check to the red skill. Look at 2 cards from top of your deck, reveal 1 card from among them into the trigger zone, and call 1 card from among them to triggered circle. If your soul has 2 or more grade 3 cards, you can change the second drive check of the turn and more as well. So if you have this, you can even change the third drive check, I think. I'm not quite sure if it is strictly checked up to trigger check then call 1, or you can go for call the one of the 2 call this revealed cards first, then you go for the trigger check. You can tell me in the comments which one goes first. I really don't know. I think I've been using this card wrong. Next, Grand Ezel Scissors. You pay the first Vanguard once per turn skill with putting a Ezel grade 3 card from your hand into your soul as a cost. Then choose all of your grade 3 cards with Ezel in their card names, not named Salvation Grand Ezel Scissors, in your soul, and this unit gets all of their bills at the end of turn. A friend of mine pointed out that if you have 2 copies of Blond Ezel, basically you can call 2 on when your Vanguard Grand Ezel Scissors attacks. If you have more than 1 Raven-haired, you can pay the cost for each Raven-haired. So maybe I have 2 Raven-haired in the soul. Counter +2 plus 30k plus 2 crits. Or if I have, doesn't really make sense if you pay twice for Platinizer since the skill doesn't give you an actual drive. It only allows you to manipulate the drive check. So that's a bit of a heads up, I guess, that you can activate for the specified copies that you have installed. 3 Blanizel, call 3 when you attack. I think that's the skill. Hopefully I'm right. Next, axe skill, Vanguard circle once per turn. If your opponent's Vanguard is greater and your soul has 2 or more grade 3 cards, counter +1. Until the end of turn, this unit gets drive +1. Your opponent cannot activate Vanguard auto abilities, unlock all of your unlock cards. So this basically triumphs, I think. Chaos Breaker Dragon. or Freeze Ray in Premium. I really don't know. Basically, it's the defensive vanguards of defensive or vanguards opponents that have O2 skills during even when it's not their turn. Then finally, I run two Sagramore in my version of this deck. The original list is different when it was given to me. When this unit is placed on VRR from hand, solve as one, draw a card, call a card from your hand to rear circle. So those are the grade 3s. Grade 2s, very basic. I only run 8 because the build has a lot of grade 3s in it. I run 4 of the Badge de Magus, whatever is the pronunciation. Its continuous skill is it gets 5,000 power up for each grade 3 is with in its card in its different card name in your soul. The wording is really weird. So at maximum, I guess plus 20k if you have 4 types of Ezel in your soul. So this is basically a bit stick. At the same time, you can attack a whole column with this one. Second continuous skill, if your soul has 2 or more grade 3 cards, when this unit will attack, it battles all of your opponent's units in a column. So if this attacks the Vanguard basically attacks the rear guard in the back of the Vanguard. If it attacks the left column, attacks the left rear guard, attacks the full left column, I guess. Great card. Basically bypasses resist, I think. So it didn't put anything that retires in this list. Also, this is a bit stick, which is great in my own opinion. 0 cost. Next, Wonder Ezel, the only superior ride card that I am running because besides its superior ride Vanguard Circle skill. Sobos 1, retire Crimson Lion Beast Howell, the grade 1 in the later on. I'll show it. On R, then search the deck for up to 1 Blond Ezel. I already showed you that. Ride at a stand and it gets drive -1 until the turn, shuffle your deck. So the key goal usually for your starting hand is at least have this and Howell. They're your right targets. No, the at least 2 grade 1s. One of those is Howell and this as your grade 2. Grade 1, we have the Howell. So that's the Howell. 4 copies. It has the record circle skill of paying a cost of counter +1, put it into the soul. At the end of the battle, boosted. If you have a Vanguard as card name, you can pay the cost. Draw a card, then call a card from your hand to R. Next, we have Tin Rain, very staple. I think it's reprinted. That's how important it is. Tin Rain, when placed by your card's ability, either by Howell, Blond Ezel, Sagramore, or Wonder Ezel, you can pay the cost of Soul Blasting 1, and you can either draw a card or counter charge. And if you counter charge, it gets another 3,000 power until end of turn. White Lion, when its attack hits or when the attack it boosted hits the opponent's Vanguard, you can check the top 6 of your deck. Add 2 grade 3 Ezels from those 6 cards revealed. If you added 2 grade 3 Ezels, choose 1 card from hand and put it to your soul. It's very very simple. Rainbow. Reason the owner of this deck doesn't have backup triggers for me to edit the trigger lineup. If it were me, I'm going for at least more front, I guess. Because personally, I'll go for fronts other than crits because you can easily get a crit with the Raven Hair skill. But I guess this works. It works well for my list. I've been playing this deck for at least 2 weeks, I guess. But you can add the grade 3 heal instead of this vanilla heal if you have them. The owner of this deck doesn't have Clarity Wing. I think that's the name of the grade 3 heal. 4 copies of it, I guess. and pretty much the you can go for Sentinel crit, but this list, this deck, I personally would suggest to run Halo Shield Mark if you have the money to buy it. Triggers, you can play around with fronts and crits, I guess. You don't really have to go for 6 draws, I guess, but maybe 5 if you feel that you're lacking hand size. So that's it. That's the list. I'm gonna return this deck, I guess, whenever I see the owner. For now, I'm gonna seal it back at my home, and we'll see if I'll be able to pilot this again. So that's it for the video. Mm, leave a like, I guess. What do I usually say at the end of the video? Leave a like, comment. I think I asked if you can choose which order of the red skill of Platina you can do. Call first or trigger first. Share, subscribe. Helps a lot if you would. And finally, hit that bell button for notifications of future uploads slash live stream. Usually I don't do live stream nowadays because the internet here in the Philippines is kind of whack. But at times when I'm busy and I am in my home, the Wi-Fi is good enough, I guess. I do live stream once in a blue moon. So yeah, uh, goodbye Ezel, I guess. I'll be using Star Vaders again probably by next week.